Hello, David. Oh, you're four? Wait. Oh, blobbity blobbity.
Pirates foul number 24.
Blue Valley Northwest coming in with a record of 3-4.
Team foul number 1.
The Pirates only lost one so far this season. At the line, number 10, that's Reagan Becker. She brings in 20 points. Her scoring average, well, it's 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Baseball, they talk about a 5-tool player. At least a 4-tool player in basketball is Becker. But now on the offense of the Piper Pirates, and there's Faith McCallum. All she's doing is averaging around 25 a game. Feeds inside. That's a great outside-in play. Angela Walker with a great look, and another one on the other side of the floor. Riley Edwards streaking down. Riley puts up around 13 every game. She's one of the more explosive players that you're going to see anywhere. Given plenty of, well, not even plenty, but giving her a little bit of time and a little bit of space, and she's going to do damage.
Pirates foul number 24, Radia Hollinshed, her second personal.
It's a second team foul. And the second, this is going to be an interesting kind of a chess match because Rayla Hollinshed, the 5'11 sophomore, already with 2 fouls with less than 2.5 minutes to go in the contest, or excuse me, into the contest. Does that sound right, David Trimble?
There's a lot of twos and in-twos, and yeah.
That's exactly right. Numbers are
possible
hard.
foul trouble to come. Let's just go with that.
And for the third time in this first quarter, a Pirates has gotten caught trying to do their swashbuckling. Back at the line again. Bright shoes. Beautiful shot. Reagan Becker. And Blue Valley Northwest up 7-2 over the home team. Almost lost the handle to Juliana, but she gets it back underneath. Feed her every time. You feed her until they finally take it away, but Riley Gerber, 5'11 junior, she comes in averaging around 9 a game. She'll go to the stripe. She's going to be shooting a couple. But Riley Gerber also pulls down around 9 rebounds a game. To go, pretty looking shot. Coach Shane Stout on the far sideline. Piper wearing their traditional home whites with the black trim. Blue Valley Northwest, well, they're wearing all purple. Makes them both, making it a 7-2 contest. Or excuse me, 7-6. Well, I was just going to say it was 4 a second ago. Now we're back to 4. We are all over the place.
And I think they are over at the scorer's table getting everything sorted out for us right there. Right
well,
around.
We understand that you're having a wine tasting down on the scorer's table earlier. That may have played a role.
And I mean, I'm not mad at him. I'm just mad I didn't get invited.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. Would have been nice to get an invite. 7-4, 5.5 left in quarter one. Becker to inbound. Molly Numerick, 5'3", the senior. Part of the yearbook staff at Blue Valley Northwest. Got a couple of players on yearbook staff. Hoping to make some memories here at Piper High. Reagan finds Riley underneath. A combination, usually it goes the other way. It's usually Riley finding Reagan. This time, Reagan with the assist. Riley with the finish.
Riley Edwards was battling down there, doing her best to get the correct body
defense
position.
I had an opportunity to visit with Coach Piggy earlier this week, and he talked about that tenacious D that he wants his team to play, and we have absolutely seen that. That is borne out here early in quarter number one. The Huskies up by 5, 9-4. Little off-balance shots, and that's going to be a travel caused by that just suffocating defense put forth by the Huskies.
Yeah, and Ann McPherson right there was playing that tenacious defense and just got a little stumble step as she was ripping that ball away, and it's going to be heading back northwest way.
I like that stumble step. Kind of like us when we leave the buffet. Stumble as we're stepping away. Here's Becker. Switches the dribble, hands it off, top of the key. And that might be a 3-second violation. And I like that the officials kind of setting the tone early, saying, hey, you got to get out of the lane after those 3 seconds.
You can't just set up camp and wait for them to throw you the ball. You got to be moving.
Not enough time for a campfire. And again, just who wants it more right now? And clearly, Blue Valley Northwest is demonstrating that they absolutely do. And then, just as I say that, Juliana, but she cannot finish. But her teammate there, offensive rebound. And that's going to stay in possession of the Pirates. Now, some of that hustle that we've seen from Blue Valley Northwest, I think it's kind of through osmosis. I think that's kind of actually energizing Piper a little bit.
And look at that defensive move going straight up.
How do you not love that hustle? I don't care who you're a fan of. But Kyra Becker, the 5'9" junior. She averages 9 points, 3 rips, a couple of steals every contest. And talk about telegraphing that pass. There's like a 1, 2, 3, and then she let it go. Just enough time for Reagan Becker to step in front of it. She steps all the way down court, hooks up. Another bucket, 11-4.
And she had that nice little stutter step there, trying to pull the defense in, thinking that she was going to be passing, and then she just took it all herself. And an errant pass, and we're heading the other way.
Now, most of the time, you know, when we are doing a broadcast like this, have an opportunity to watch a lot of film, to kind of see what the teams look like if we haven't had a chance to see them in person. I haven't seen either of these two teams this year. I tell you what, Blue Valley Northwest, despite their record of 3-4, you think, how are they 3-4 if for no other reason than that defensive effort that we're seeing put forth? Well, you look at their schedule and who they've had to play. Well, they lost early in game 1 to Benton, to power up in St. Joe. Liberty, one of the top teams on the Missouri side. They beat Topeka High and Olathe Northwest handily. They lost to the Hornets of North Kansas City. Another very strong team on the Missouri side, as well as Hickman. They only lost by 5, but then they righted the ship. Is that grammatically correct, David Trimble?
I believe it is, yeah.
Righted the ship in a big kind of way against Olathe East earlier this week, 74-11. So not only do they have that defensive prowess, but they also have an ability to put up a lot of points in a hurry. Now, for Piper, I mean, it's still obviously first quarter action. We're just in the second half of the first quarter. They're down by 7. But any time that any team has the talent that the Pirates do, led by Faith McCallum and her 25 a game, they're going to be able to put up points in a hurry. Sure, the coach, Shane Stout, made some adjustments. Bearing fruit right now are those adjustments in that hustle. Here's Faith McCallum. Switching her dribble, nice, beautiful bounce pass off the heel of the rim. Can't get that to go, but an offensive rebound coming right back out up top. There's McCallum working it out to the left wing, to the Democrat side, if you will. Left wing, right wing. Come on. He's just shaking his head. I don't understand. What if we use like names, like, you know, stalwarts of the Republican and Democrat Party? That should go over well, right?
Like a lead balloon.
Like a lead balloon. And just as a reminder, at halftime, we are going to have our thoughts on what's going on in Minneapolis and the whole state of Minnesota. No, of course not.
And
Anyway,
we're heading the other way.
we
Riley
absolutely-
Edwards bringing it up, tossing that one up. I almost thought that was a shot there for a second, just trying to get it down to Becker.
headed the wrong way in a lot of ways, young man. Hey, number 3 with a trifecta. Isabella Ellis. 5'6" frame. She's only a sophomore, but she's been working on that stroke for a long time. Squared up to the basket.
I believe I just heard the PA say it was Isles. Isabella Isles.
Isles. Well, I was wrong.
Hy-Vee Isles Online.
Not a sponsor, maybe should be.
Pirate ball.
L-E-S. Isabella Isles. Name like Isabella, does she go by Izzy? Is it Bella? Isabella? Well, it is tonight, Isabella. Faith McCalla being guarded, double teamed down in the right corner. Trying to turn over the court, and they do, but again, that defense, that is just smothering, suffocating. We can ban a block from way out. Going the other way, filling all 5 lanes, going to take it herself off the glass with the left hand. Doesn't go, but a rebound.
And Angela
Piper.
Walker has been
Right.
all over the place. She cleared up a couple rebounds, went after a loose ball on the offensive side.
Would you believe if I told you that she averages just at 2 rebounds a game?
I wouldn't believe that for 1 second.
Well, believe it, because it's true. But I have a feeling tonight that average is going to go up. There's McCallop, and she has one of those pure shots, like a Brooke Walker down in Andover, like the young lad, that Jenna Schmidler out of Hayes. I mean, just an absolute, just that smooth precision.
And on that last one,
Underneath,
the
look at
popping shot that she had was
Right.
definitely fantastic.
3 shots at the basket. And she's going to have 2 attempts at the line as Reagan Becker, former St. James Academy standout, transferred to Blue Valley Northwest in the offseason.
Into the Huskies, number 15, Molly
Couple
Huber.
of
Into the
substitutions.
Pirates, number 3, Izzy Teasley.
Izzy Teasley coming in for Piper. And I believe Molly Numerick back into the contest for Blue Valley Northwest. 16-9, 7-point spread in favor of the visiting Huskies of Blue Valley Northwest. There's McCallop, long pass, turning around. Juliana, tell you what, ordinarily on most teams, she might be kind of a star player, getting a lot of the looks to the basket, but, when you have a Faith McCallop, kind of overshadowed a little bit, but she's a player, that 5'4" sophomore.
Husky ball.
And they were all over it on the defensive end. There was the aforementioned McCallop. And they threw it down in, and that was a perfect pass over the top. Dropped it. She couldn't have walked over there and set it in her hands any better.
All right, what'd I miss?
Just a fantastic pass down to Becker underneath, and she just laid that one in. And then we went the other way.
All right. Less than 45 to play in quarter one, 18-11. Blue Valley Northwest well in control. There's McCallop, 25, a fresh shot clock, and she doesn't care. She's going to take it anyway. Heel of the rim, unforgiving, a long pass up ahead off the glass and in for 2. Beautiful assist again by Becker. First name Reagan. That was Molly Numerick, I beg your pardon. Finishing it off, 20-11. Up by 9 and in trouble. Pass to the wrong color, but I don't know that she had any other option. Would have been an over and back anyway. Oh, now that is just a defensive collapse. Kyra Becker. You get a sense that the Becker girls have played together just a little bit.
Been playing that.
Now you expect that to go in. Do you not expect that? I mean, seriously, when it left her hands, based on how they've played in the first quarter, you just kind of knew that was going to go in. 25-11. My goodness. I don't know that any of the prognostications that we read coming into this And Blue Valley Northwest up by 13 points after the first quarter. But here we are, quarter number 2 when we come back. Live from Piper High, 810 Varsity Showcase number 43. We'll be right back. Twenty-five to 11 Huskies over the Pirates here at Piper High. Quarter number 2 underway. The Huskies starting off as he did in the first quarter, not afraid to take those long shots. They're not a very patient team. When they have the firepower that they do have, they are going to push it up and down. They're not going to wait for the last 5 seconds on the shot clock before they let it rip. If they have a clear view of that basket, they're going to let her go. First one is in, make it 26 to 11. And start to fill in what we haven't exactly named yet, but we need to work on that, David Trimble, the name of the court here at Piper High.
Come on, Bradley, let's go!
Here comes Kyra Becker. And Riley Edwards. And that long three to finish the first quarter. Back to Reagan. She can score from anywhere on the court. Like to see her take one from half court a la Steph Curry. I have a feeling it's probably got more of a chance to go in than it doesn't. Here's McCallum. Spins around, looking for a little bit of help. None's coming. Lets it rip. Oh, that is a beautiful shot again. Second time we've seen that from that young lady. Make it 30 to 14. Pirates working their way back. That's going to start on plays just like this. Defensive rebound. Long pass ahead. That was, I don't know. Well, that's going to stay in bounds, David Trimble.
Yeah, I think they might have been able to call a kick on that one, but yeah, she threw it off of her leg.
And that is a great call, a great timeout call by Coach Piggy for Blue Valley Northwest. He saw that his team was in a little bit of trouble when, as soon as they had possession of it, they went ahead and grabbed it and said, hey, can't take them with me. You might as well use them now. 6:44 left in the second quarter. David Trimble, if you are Coach Shane Stout on that far sideline and we see him, he's just kind of shrugging and his palms are open. He's saying, hey, I can't go out there and play for you. You're a great team. But what is the message you're going to give your team right now? Down by 16 points.
The hustle is there. They just need to maybe slow it down just a little bit. They're getting a little bit ahead of themselves. And then once they get down there, get set up and just get back to some good fundamental plays, set some plays up and get playing their style. Don't be reacting to Northwest all the time.
Here's Molly bringing it up again. Left side, that's, you know, as we watch the ball movement, you know, and I talked to Coach Piggy earlier in the week, and he said that one of the strengths of the team was just the ability to learn to play together. And it seems so obvious, right? You got 5 gals out there on the court, and, well, yeah, of course they're playing together. But it's a little bit beyond that. And, you know, we've seen with Northwest certainly more than once, just like right there. You kind of know. It's like in I'll use a football term that time of year, of course. You know, quarterback and the receiver that have that connection where they can almost just look at each other and know the play that needs to be run. Well, that's what's going on right now for Blue Valley Northwest. And Piper has to find an answer. But it's not like they're not playing good defense, David Trimble. They're hustling. They're getting rebounds. But it's just not quite enough.
Right, and it kind of that unspoken little mind meld, if you will, right there as Edwards knocks that one down. Between Becker and Edwards, it seems like they both know where the other is on the court at all times. And they just expect him to be there, and, 99 out of 100 times they are there.
Husky ball.
You know what my takeaway is right now, and this is probably a conversation for later in the contest, but just how girls basketball has evolved over the past 5, 10, really 5 to 10. Now, of course, it started to get better maybe about 20 years ago, but just the amount of talent that we've seen, and especially out of the Kansas City area, some of the top recruits in the country. I'm talking about you, Addison Bjorn. Bjorn going to University of Texas, one of the top schools in the country. Number of second level, if you will. Oh, and there's Reagan Becker. She knew it. She was hoping to get away from it. But speaking of going on and continuing to play, taking her talents to the next level, number 10, that's Reagan Becker. She's going to be a mule.
Central Missouri State.
Down there with a number of area standouts. Mackenzie Farmer out of DeSoto High, a fellow UKC team. So Piper, great 4-year standout at DeSoto for Coach Ryan Roby. And Faith, not to be outdone. She puts a couple up. 17 points. Blue Valley Northwest over Piper. Little ambitious pass. Reagan Becker certainly has athleticism. She doesn't quite have that extension on her arms like she does on that rebound. Here come the Huskies. Becker, she's either going to pull up and pop it or look for someone underneath. She does, but can't get it there. Turnover. Now let's see if Piper can capitalize. McCallum, a floater. That's a tough shot. Defensive rebound, go to the Huskies.
And see, that's one of those ones where I would have liked to have seen them slowed it down a little bit.
Right.
And, they were got a little bit frazzled with that kind of full court pressure, that light full court pressure. They got over there. Once they break that half court line, settle down a little bit. Take your shot.
Back in the day, one of my high school basketball coaches, Lonnie Niederhaus, true name, Lonnie Niederhaus. He said, Sean, if you get 2 fouls in the first half, you are setting the bench until the third quarter. And he never wavered from that. That's exactly right. We saw that Renaya Hollenshed picked up 2 fouls within the first minute and a half of the first quarter. Her absence and mainly her 5'11" frame has certainly been felt by the Pirates defensively.
And, you can't be doing that. 2 fouls. Obviously, sometimes it's not always within your control. You might have a little ticky-tack foul, but, your presence is needed, and you can't be affecting your team like that.
Defensive rebound goes to Juliana. Look at her handle, switches her dribble, tries to bounce, pass it up there to Hollenshed, who's back into the contest with her 2 fouls at the 4:01 left in the second quarter mark. Interesting decision by Coach Stout, but, you got to stop the bleeding somehow.
It's like were they listening to us talking about it?
Apparently so. No insider information up here. Just a casual observation, 33-16. More than a casual observation, but right now the Huskies well in control and playing like they're one of the top teams, certainly in the state of Kansas. Again, a little bit too ambitious, but that's what's going to happen. Riley Edwards, by her nature, she's going to take a chance once in a while, and most of the time it's going to work quite well. And there's Hollenshed. Bingo right there, David Trimble. Another rebound, back-to-back. Can't convert, but again, having that big presence inside should pay dividends here in the final 3:20, 3:19 in the second quarter for the Pirates.
Right, and let's make sure that her presence is known on the defensive side as well, trying to get in there and match with Edwards and Becker.
Isabella Isles going to put them in the aisle with a shot like that. 36-16, biggest lead of the game. 20-point spread for Blue Valley Northwest. Playing like they're a team made up of McDonald's All-Americans. There's McCallum. Unforgiving heel of the rim says not so fast. Going the other way. 2:42, 2:41 left before halftime. And Coach Stout and his Pirates love nothing more than to make it to the locker room, at least maybe try to get a little bit closer. There's Becker, one of her few misses inside. And that's a good call. I know that a lot of the Piper faithful may have kind of put up their arms, but that's the right call. That's just great defense, and that pressure forces the turnover.
Right, and that young lady was a little lucky that they didn't, because she kind of, as she was running away, kind of slammed that ball down a little bit in frustration with herself more than anything. But depending on how the officials are feeling that day, sometimes they might call that as a technical.
Riley Edwards going into the lane, tries to dump it off to Reagan. Here's McCallum. She's going to take it up all the way off the glass.
And that was a beautiful ball fake to draw the defense that way and leave herself the open lane for the easy, well, not easy, but for the layup.
How about this? Back-to-back big plays on defense for Piper. We were talking about it a moment ago. Can Piper come back and put together a couple of points? Well, they got 5 in a row, 36-21. That leads down to 15. Now you think 15, that's a huge lead in the second quarter. It absolutely is, but consider where Piper was in the first quarter, David Trimble. This is, I would say, again, another opportunity to roll off potentially 7 or 8 points in a row. She's going to go to the line with that opportunity. They've scored the last 5 points. Have the Pirates. Now they're going to get a couple from the stripe. One of the best free throw shooters.
And the other thing is yeah, it's still quite a bit of a difference, but they're playing more their style of basketball. They're working together as a team. You got Angela Walker down there cleaning up the boards, getting the ball out, down to Faith or Hope McCallum, and getting that ball on the positive end for them.
In and out, no offensive rebound. Opportunity now for Blue Valley Northwest to reassert themselves, and Becker wants to do it all with a quick shot. Doesn't go down, and I'm sure, as you pointed out before, that's a shot that Coach Piggy probably would say, hey, didn't need to take one that quick, but it might pay off all right. Here comes Becker. 1-on-2, that doesn't matter. No foul called, and that's a good no call. I know if you're a Piper fan, you're watching thinking, there should have been a whistle. There may have been a little theatrics at the end of that, trying to encourage the whistle to be blown by the officials. Final minute of the second quarter, 38-22. Leads down to 16. Waits for the screen. Juliana, short corner, can't go, but gets her own rebound. Pops it out. No good. Back iron again, and that's going to stay in possession. Oh. The official was right there. He had the best view of the house to see whether or not that actually went off a Pirate. He's going to say it did. Shot clock is off. 29.4 seconds left. Huskies have the opportunity to increase their 16-point lead going into the locker room. Right now, about the only thing that has stopped Blue Valley Northwest is, well, score clock. Looking for a little bit of help. Reagan Becker way out top. She can play everywhere. Waits for a screen. Loses the handle. Jump ball with 4.1 seconds left. Possession arrow does favor the Pirates. And how big of a shot in the arm would this be? Just a little bit of momentum going into the break. Juliana.
If they could hit a basket like they did on the other end.
There's McCallum. Can't get that to go. A little ambitious. 38-22 is where we're going to leave it. After 2 quarters of play here. Showcase number 43 at Piper High School. Blue Valley Northwest in control over the Piper Pirates. Third quarter when we come back. Right after this.
Mark your calendar for the 10th annual 810 Varsity.
What? French? Never had 3 games. We go into the break, Blue Valley Northwest, and a 16-point lead, 38-22. We come out of the halftime break. What do you know? Same score. Opening seconds of quarter number 3. After the miss, Piper an opportunity to try to cut into that lead. We'll see what Coach Shane Stout and his crew have done over that halftime break, whatever adjustments they need to make. Had a good look from the outside,
Husky ball.
but a little bit off the mark. Back to Blue Valley Northwest. So we welcome back in our great producer and engineer, David Trimble. I was sharing with our listening audience that we went into the halftime break with a 16-point differential, and as I looked at the scoreboard, we're still there.
There weren't any points scored over the halftime?
No points scored during the halftime break.
Huh.
But a couple of points scored in the hospitality room, and there's that number 24, and her 2 fouls, Hollenshed. 38-24. I mean, that was a presence that was certainly missed in the first quarter for Piper. She was pretty much on the bench for the majority of that first quarter after picking up 2 early fouls and lost the handles on it to Juliana Vendetta.
But Vendetta showing the hustle, and she was right there. They were very close. I'd like to see them just keep doing that. And then the chips will all fall in place, as if you will.
And a hustle play, we saw Blue Valley Northwest with that same attitude to start the game. They were after every loose ball, every pass they had a hand up. Their hands were in the air trying to disrupt those passing lanes. And now we're seeing kind of some of the same thing out of Piper. Whether or not the fortunes can be reversed here for Piper, we don't know yet, but we're going to find out. 9-8 on the shot clock. Right wing, that is Allie Dahl. Hands it off, and it's a little bit too much, or too little, too late. Going the other way. Can't get the roll. McCallop, though, tries to get it back. But Becker, a little bit too wily. Keeps the ball away, and instead gets it out to number 10. First name Reagan, last name Becker, but Faith McCallum, who is a little bit, and I say a little quiet, even though she had 8 first half points. She's got 3 here to start the second half. And if she can get going, she averages nearly 25 points a game. As she brings it up into the lane, she doesn't care. She's going to keep going, and that's exactly what she needed to do, keep taking those shots. Like to see her maybe make that bounce pass underneath. And Edwards.
They got to go get that.
Now there's Coach Mc. Now look, his team is up 43-27, and he is irate. He is absolutely upset because he felt that his team had an opportunity for a quick turnover force, quite frankly, on that loose ball opportunity.
And I wasn't sure on that play because she didn't touch it again, and her teammate came over and got it. It wasn't an over and back. It was just.
I'm glad you said that. I thought I was the only one here in the Piper Nation.
I'm pretty sure that they should have just kept playing that one right there.
Riley Edwards again. She's in double digits. She had 7 in the first half. 3 so far here in quarter number 2. And you understand what Faith McCallum is trying to do. She's trying to make something. I mean, she's sort of a generator. You know, she gets kind of warmed up. She gets a whizzing and a buzzing, and then all of a sudden you've got sparks of flying, and that's the kind of offense that she likes to run. But, of course, that's predicated on some of those passes being caught and on target, which they haven't been as often as she would have liked.
Yeah, Bradley Gerber, 5'9", probably would have had to have been about 6'2", 6'3", with a decent vertical leap to be able to pull that one down. But they are taking the full time out here. I'm kind of interested to see. I was thinking if maybe the coach was going to ask for a little bit of an explanation on that call a little while ago, but the officials are standing at.
I mean, I'd like to have an explanation.
Yeah, I think I had an explanation that it was not the right call. But what? Wait, what? I think my mic might be lagging. I don't know.
Your mic might be lagging.
Yeah, my mic was lagging a little bit there. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But here we are, just under 5 minutes to go in quarter number 3, 46-27 in favor of Blue Valley Northwest.
Ryder Edwards puts it in bounds and in play. Here comes Molly Nimerick. Switches her dribble, going back to the right wing. Back to Kyra Becker. Becker to Becker is a combination we've seen a couple of times. Sounds like the name of a law firm or a real estate agency. Becker and Becker. Beautiful.
Becker and Edwards,
Becker,
the
Becker,
law firm of.
Pretty much. Might as well be. Because there's no question. I mean, they're leaving no doubt. They want that final judgment. And they're well on their way to doing just that. But Piper is one of the top teams in Class 5A. They've only lost one game on the year, and that was to Andover, arguably the #1 team in Class 5A. In the third game of the year, early in December, they lost quite handily, 75-57 to Bella Batara and crew down there in Andover. Expect to see them make another late season run. Here comes Edwards. Over to Becker. Through the net.
I mean,
another three.
You can't leave her that wide open like that.
She had enough time to kind of compose herself. She took a deep breath, let it out. Still had enough time.
Wrote down a to-do list for after the game.
Right. And you can see just through the body language of Faith McCallop, she's frustrated. You know, she's like, I have nowhere to go with it. I'm looking for teammates. Well, I'm just going to throw it off the defense and live to fight another day, and she does. There's Juliana Benedetto, top of the key. Gets it over to McCallop, and she's going to drive. Is this one going to go? No. But for one of the few times, she has drawn the foul. And I think that's what she's trying to do generally. But a very disciplined defense by Blue Valley Northwest has other ideas, and they're not laying hands on her when she goes into the lane.
Right, because if she could maybe get a player or two in foul trouble, and then if she can pick up some points while the clock is stopped, that is one way that she could do what it looks like she's trying to do, is single-handedly get her team back in this game.
51-28. Just over halfway through quarter 3, and there's McCallop, and her second shot is through. 51-29. Riley Edwards walks it up into the front court, being stymied by Renea Hollandshed. Long three, this one a little off the mark, uncharacteristically for Blue Valley Northwest. Get this, David Trimble. What if I told you that in the first half, Blue Valley Northwest was shooting 72% from the field?
I'm pretty sure I'd be inclined to believe you.
David, I can't shoot 72% from the free throw line or even underneath the basket, and here they are.
I was going to say, I think I'd be maybe 70 for layups.
Right. Now, Piper, conversely, would you believe me if I said they were shooting 17% from the field in the first half?
1-7, 7-0.
That would be 1-7, unfortunately, for the Pirates. There's Becker using her body. That is a great move, and a follow-up by Edwards with the offensive rebound. Right back to Becker. She draws the foul, doesn't get it to go. She's going to the stripe to shoot 2. Kids, you're watching number 10, and she is one of the most fundamentally strong players that you're going to see anywhere in the state. In Missouri, Kansas, doesn't matter. The way that she used her body to clear just a little bit more space from the defender, she didn't foul or anything. That's just a lot of experience, a lot of practice, honing her craft over years and years. You don't roll out of bed and just suddenly become Reagan Becker. Makes it look easy. 53 on the scoreboard for the Huskies. 29 for Piper. McCallop pushes it up into the front court. They would have had numbers. And she was triple teamed coming across midcourt.
Husky foul number 10.
That's going to be the third team foul
Personal, team foul number 2.
against the Huskies here in the third quarter. Gibson and McCallum almost didn't get there in time. That was Ann McPherson, 5'9", junior. Getting some good minutes, and someone sleeping, and that was probably a foul that Hope McCallum had to give. And that's what you're taught. Hey, no easy layups. You don't want to be egregious and get a flagrant or anything like that.
Team foul number 3.
But you got to let the other team know that, hey, you know, I'm going to contest you every time that you go for a shot, even on those breakaways.
And we'll make you earn them at the charity stripe.
100%.
And she does on that first one is Edwards.
25 points between these two squads. Offensive rebound. Kira Becker, the younger of the two. She's only a junior. And Riley Edwards doing Riley Edwards things. 57 points for Blue Valley Northwest. And again, and we've seen her do that a couple of times now. She is not getting the help from her teammates. They're not coming back to help her when she's being trapped like that. You got to go set a screen.
Go up there and start yelling, hey, 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 ball, ball, ball.
100%.
You know, do something.
A little bit of spark. Pirates trying for the booty, but right now, all they're coming up with is kind of fool's gold.
Pyrite?
Py-
Is that Pyrite? Is Pyrite fool's gold?
exactly. See what I did there? Pyrite,
Yeah.
fool's gold. A lot of times try a little bit too hard, but it always sounds better in my head. Sort of like that extra trip to the buffet. Threading the needle inside. A little bit too hot to handle for Briley Gerber. Now, Briley Gerber's been a little bit quiet. She started out hot. If not for Gerber in the first quarter, it would have been a lot worse, but she held strong, and Gerber can't get around, and she's got to get around Tyra Becker.
Becker took a three, got her own rebound, took another shot, got her own rebound, and drove it in. And they got to get a body on her, do something.
Listen to us coaching up here like we know what we're talking about. Becker doing a good job. That is the younger of the two. And the old, it's funny to say that.
Old.
The old Becker, number 10, getting fitted now. Look at that. Look at that hustle. It's 59-29. They're up by 30 points. And Reagan Becker is applying pressure in the backcourt like it's the last play of the game of the state championship. Coach Piggy has developed something here with this team. Of course, it doesn't hurt when you've got the Becker sisters and complement of other fantastic players. But this is absolutely going to be a team to be reckoned with the rest of the year. EKL and throughout their district. Long strives. But again, can't. That is Hope McCallum. Kind of a hope and a prayer when she put that off the glass. Both McCallups have struggled to kind of find that the right spot off the glass. And starting to fill in the stands here on the near side. As a reminder, the game immediately following this one will be the Piper boys going up against the top team in Missouri across all classes. That is Oak Park, the defending champs. That will be roughly 15 to 20 minutes following the conclusion of this broadcast here tonight on Showcase 43, brought to you by 810 Varsity, 810varsity.com. Good defensive hustle. Julietta Benedetto. She's going to go to the line, trying to get Piper over that. Right now, 30, you would think that this would be a second quarter score for the Pirates. We're 4.7 away from starting fourth quarter. And she does. Makes it a 34-point spread in favor of Blue Valley Northwest. In and out. Clock start. Offensive rebound. Can't get it to go. Becker brings it up, and that is going to do it for quarter number 3. Well, at halftime, Blue Valley Northwest had a 38-22 lead. That has since increased to 64-30, a 34-point spread. Now, question, you know what? We'll talk about that when we come back. Live from Piper High School, this is A10 Varsity Showcase number 43. We'll be right back.
Does it roll? Does it swing? Does it have a busted spring? If you call Door Systems, we have everything. That's 524-8535. Ask for me, Dory. That'll get you 10% off, you know. Hey, I'm no ding-dong. Call us. Don't forget the 816, silly. Ask for me, Dory.
Possession arrow gives the ball to the Pirates to begin the fourth quarter.
Three quarters in the book, one more to go. 64-30. And another quick turnover right here. And we've got Becker going the other way.
And the question that I have for
laying it up in. Yeah,
Sorry,
question.
David.
Let's go.
The question that I have for you is, if you were Coach Piggy right now and you've built up this lead, a 36-point lead, and we do have a running clock, the question that I have, and I'm not saying anything, this is not an indictment on Coach Piggy or anything, but why do you leave your starters out? I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but don't you potentially want to get some reps for your bench players? I don't know.
Right. I mean, there's not necessarily a right and wrong answer. There's some coaches that would feel like, if they're on the other end of this, okay, yeah, you guys have got the 30-point lead, quote unquote, try and maybe give us a break a little bit. And then again, yeah, get your younger players in there that don't get all the time.
Right. Now, as a coach, I've been on both sides. And I always taught my guys, hey, you know what? If you're up by 30, you play like you're up by 2. Like the game is on the line, or you're down by 4. You're always going to play like that you're one basket away. I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, I mean, it's a philosophical question. I just like to get different perspectives on it. But, in football, it's more of an issue with, don't you want to kind of protect your playmakers from injury? Up and down, that's going to be a travel. And unfortunately, that is Charlotte Norton. She kind of knew it too. And 3, 4, fresh Piper. Now, I like to see this. Coach Stout with 6:07 and running clock left. He's emptying the bench, and now Coach Piggy's going to do the same. And I think that is the right play with the running clock. I mean, get your starters out, rest them. They don't have a game tomorrow that they have to get ready for. But just the development of some of those younger players, the role players, give them a taste. All right, I'll get off my soapbox now. And McPherson back into the game. Hope McCallum, Faith McCallum. There's Aubrey Edison. Eitzen, I beg your pardon. 5'5", junior. Here's Molly Numerick. And one of those fouls that, I don't know, probably would have swallowed my whistle on that with the running clock.
Team foul number 1.
Roxy Connolly. Part of the all-name team. I love that name, Roxy. Roxy Connolly just kind of rolls off the tongue. I like that.
Not quite as good as Izzy Teasley.
Fair enough. We have a Cooper Crawford coming up next for the Piper boys. As a reminder, that game will take place. Let's see, it's 7:35. We have a running clock here. I tell you what, David Trimble, we're going to be awful close to an 8 o'clock tip, I believe, by the time this one runs its course. 68-32. Where do you go from here if you're Coach Shane Stout and Piper? What is the first thing that you're going to look at if you have film tomorrow, you go into practice on Monday? You're Coach Stout. What do you tell your team? What are you working on? What is your focus, David Trimble?
My focus is going to be on rebounding. You got to get a body on the other team. You got to box out, and Blue Valley Northwest has gotten way too many second, third opportunities on the offensive end, and that would be my main focus going into this, because they've got the hustle, they've got the team. They just need to get some better shots, and they need to stop the second and third opportunities.
First thing I'm saying, Raina Hollinshed, you can never have 2 first-half fouls again. Because I am absolutely convinced, and what we saw at the start of the third quarter, and even that last couple of minutes in the second where she came back in, she was an absolute difference maker. There's not a lot of height on this Piper team, but so when you have a 5'11 player of the sophomore Raina Hollinshed's talents coming in, and we saw, I don't know how many rebounds she has. I had her for 6 in the first half on shortened minutes. I mean, that's one of those X factors that we talk about. And likewise, your coach, Jeffrey Piggy for Blue Valley Northwest, and we saw how excited he was and then how frustrated he was all the span of about 90 seconds with his team. Clearly, he expects a lot out of this Blue Valley Northwest roster.
Number 34, Charlotte Norton, her first personal.
We have people walking behind us up here. We don't usually have that. We're usually in press boxes like in a football field, and so it's kind of jarring to feel somebody kind of wipe up against you like that. And then I realized it was your hand. I'm like, what are you doing, Dave? It's so inappropriate. Switching her dribble, scoops it up. Blocking foul. 68-34. Double them up. Is my math right, David Trimble? 34 plus 34, in fact, is 68. We did miss the 6-7, which I still don't understand. I really don't.
Number 23, Lucy Kalenda. Number 32, Asia Stanley. And number 55, Sydney Scott.
Sydney Scott, the 5'10 junior, coming in for the Pirates. We've seen pretty much everybody on the Pirate roster. Izzy Teasley. We've seen Jalen Hibbler. Has she been in? There she is, top of the key, setting the screen. Got Asia Stanley, Angela Walker, Aubrey Eidson. Have we seen Lucy, the 5'9 junior, Lucy Kalinda, number 23? Is she out there, David Trimble? Yes, she is, wearing the left knee brace. There's Lucy. We got Hope, obviously Hope and Faith. Jaden Hibbler, Izzy, Ann, and Juliana. Great to see the entire roster getting some meaningful minutes. Even though the game is out of reach right now, there's still a lot to play for, and showing the coaching staff what they can do given that opportunity. Good ball movement. Like to see him reverse that, maybe do a fake pass. Get the defense to bite a little bit. Bounce pass into number 23, who's sitting down there at the low post saying, feed me. Give me that rock. Kind of a little jump hook high off the glass. Final 37 seconds. Game number 2 here. Showcase number 43 in the A10 Varsity. Showcase Saturday. Good time to mention our good friend, our fantastic camera operator, Hayden Kilo, way down at the other end. He just give me the one finger salute saying, hey, good job. That was a thumb, I hope. Thank you very much. Allie Dahl now. I'm just going to kind of dribble this one out. Isabella Isles. And that is going to do it. The Pirates are going to lick their wounds and try to regroup. They're 5-0 in the UKC, and that is going to be a gauntlet of a schedule coming up, but there's a lot of talent on that Piper roster. It'll be exciting to see how they use a game like this, David Trimble, to kind of refine what they're doing. And again, look, you're not going to see that many more teams on their schedule like we see tonight out of Blue Valley Northwest. And for Blue Valley Northwest, coming into the contest, you really didn't know whether or not they were going to you didn't know which team was going to show up. They've been a little bit inconsistent at times this year, David, but tonight there was nothing. The only thing that was consistent was pretty much their consistency.
Right, and I mean, when you've got three like that, Becker, and Edwards, the law firm, they are going to take you to court. And
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Take him to court. That's what I was looking for before.
And we've got Leslie Router on the screen right there for us.
Well, indeed it is. All right, we're going to be back here in about 15, 20 minutes. Again, the last game on the schedule, Oak Park and Piper High, the boys, one of the top teams in Kansas and one of the top teams in Missouri. State line bragging rights on the line. We're going to be back in about 20. And you are watching Saturday Showcase on your home for ice.